Alright, so this will just be kind of a random video, I guess. But I know some of you guys were saying to check the river bank here or whatever for bear tracks. Well, that ain't gonna happen. The damn thing's underwater. The river is rising because we had that 1.5-inch storm a couple of weekends ago, and of course I think large percentage of the state all got it. So the best place to track or to look for bear tracks would be right on the trail. He probably would be down there, but most of that's underwater. So there ain't going to be no way to check that for bear tracks. You're just better off having gaming cameras put up and ones that actually work at night. So yeah, look how tall those freaking weeds are getting already. They're up to the mirror on the Tahoe. So yeah, there's no reason to even be going down in there, because that's all underwater, and I hope it doesn't continue to rise. It's probably kind of a slow rise, I would think, but I would say definitely gonna have to keep an eye on this. But if it starts to threaten the trail here, I'm going to have to pull some of my cameras back down because I may not be able to get down here then. But I think the way it's rising, you're probably talking at least another good solid week yet. But I don't know. So yeah, it's not going to do any good to check the river bank, because even if there was evidence there of him being there, it's all gone now. He would have to do it kind of right after the water left. So, and the possibility of there being more than one bear, I doubt it. I think it's the same bear because it looks like it's the same size and everything. So I don't think it's. Okay, stop. I don't think it's two bears. I think it's just a one. Yeah, you can see the rivers. We'll walk down there. It's going to be windy, but I'll walk down there and show you how high the river's actually gotten. But I have one more game camera I want to check, and then we'll walk over there. And there's something else I want to show you guys too, that for some reason I've never noticed until now. It's actually kind of ridiculous how I never noticed it, but yeah. So give me a couple of minutes here, and I'll get back to you. Alright, we're gonna go take a look here. Just want you guys to be aware that it is going to be windy, so you may not be able to hear me too well, but he's doing pretty good though. But I just want to show you how high the river's gotten. But it's going to be extremely windy out here, so just to be aware of that. You got to remember too that I actually mow down here too, but I haven't mowed yet. I'm probably going to do it the next time I mow. Just wanted to kind of skip a week of mowing. See how high it's gotten? I mow right there. That's where I mow. Isn't that freaking crazy? I mowed all this. All that tall grass, that's as far as I can go before I fall off the edge. So any low spots like this, it's all underwater. So if the bear was even walking down the bank along the river edge. He ain't doing it. He'd have to be up here now. But there's no bear tracks anywhere here. I see a couple of deer tracks, but I don't think a bear would share deer tracks. So next time I mow, I actually got to be up here. I can't mow down in here. So it's not going to do any good to check the riverbank or anything along the edge because it's all under freaking water because the water keeps coming up. I really should put if I had a flag, I know I got flags in the shop, like a little marking flags, I actually should put one in here. I suppose like maybe right here. And then you can measure it, you know, and if this flag goes under, well then you know it's still rising, but just kind of measure the distance every few days. I guess to kind of get an idea maybe how quick it's rising. You know, I got flags, but I need to actually put some flags in the Blazer. So I always got some damn marking flags with me in case I need to mark something, but this is more than enough to prove that it's coming up, because the last time I mowed, I was able to mow this. But you can tell I skipped a week, obviously, but the next time I mow, I'm going to mow everything. So that'll probably be in the next day or two. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So, but how much rain we'll get out of that, I don't know. Probably not very much, but yeah, it's hard to believe because the river was down pretty low. They even pulled their floating dock thing out. They pulled it out because they knew it was probably going to get freaking pulled away. So I think this is, I mean, it's not technically flooding, I guess. They were in a flood watch or something way down south. I think that's where the worst of it was at. But for all those people that got that foot of rain, I don't know, probably close to a week ago or two now, they got probably close to a foot of rain. You know, that's all got to work its way up here too. So that's probably the other reason to why all this is rising, is because that all has to come up here. So I would say as long as it stays down here in the bush, you're okay. But if it starts to get out into the hay fields, that's where I'm going to be concerned, because we are getting way too late now for this flooding crap. We can't afford to lose any hay, you know, due to it drowning. You know, we can't have that now. It's too late. If this would have happened a couple of months ago, it would have been perfectly fine, but it sure in the hell can't happen now. But it's coming up, but it's insane. So that's why I can't come down here and look for bear tracks. I want to put I think I'm going to put a gaming camera down here at some point. Maybe when I replace all my other junky ones. I might put one maybe on this tree and have it overlook that area. One, to see if any deer or anything go down there to drink. And, you know, just to see if maybe, like, if the bear is still here by then, maybe we'll see the bear wandering down here. Somebody wants to fish. Good luck fishing in that. But I think that tree would be perfectly fine for it. But yeah, so that's the reason why I can't check the riverbank, because it's underwater currently. So, but if it keeps rising, I'm going to have to start pulling cameras again. Get them out of the field. But I'm not going to do that until they get to a certain level. So But yeah. So, and I got my ladder with me. This thing's gonna probably rattle like a son of a bitch. The hay's doing actually pretty good down here though. After that 1.5 inches, plus little showers that we get every now and then, it's gonna really grow. But we need some freaking heat. We're gonna finally start getting a little bit of heat now. They're talking 70s, maybe even tickling 80s at times. So that'll probably really give this grass a boost. But yeah, I think by the time I probably I put a camera down there, the bear might be already long gone. But I still might do it. I still want to put cameras in other places. It's because it is kind of interesting to see what the wildlife is doing down here. Even though that's not really the purpose of it, it is, the main purpose is to catch trespassers and stuff like that. But I mean, trespassing's kind of slowed down a little bit here, so it's pretty much non-existent in the summertime. But that's because they know I'm going to be out quite a bit. So wintertime, not so much. Unless I had a snowcat, then I'd be coming out here all the time, even in the winter months. But yeah, so I might put like I said, I might put a gaming camera there, just to see what's going on, with that area, and I guess to see, if the bear is still wandering around. He's got to be somewhere around here, because for him to be that close to the farm the other night or the other morning, it's it's got she's got my hair standing up on the back of my neck, that's for sure. It's too close for comfort. So, but what do you do? But unfortunately, I don't know if he's been wandering around on the trail at night, because like I said, those cameras don't do good at night. I think maybe if I had like a solar powered light next to the camera, and then when somebody walked by, they would trigger the light too and the camera, maybe that would kind of give you a little bit of a fighting chance to see a little bit better. I don't know, it might just mess up the camera all the freaking more. I thought about maybe doing that, but then I was like, just get a better camera. So I think, like I said, I want to get a Browning. I kind of want to get the same one that my uncle has. And then the one that's in the yard right now, that'll go down here. It'll replace one of these cameras, because there's these cameras that I have down here currently, or at least 2 of them anyway, they're junky. So replace at least one of them, then you'd be okay. But then you guys might just say, like, well, if you're going to replace that junky camera, why not just put that junky camera down there? It's kind of the point that these cameras don't do good at night, no matter where you put them. You'd have to be in an area that has tons of lighting already to maybe even give you a fighting chance to see at night. So those cameras, they just have to go. They're useless at night. So I think if I replace that one, and then yeah, so if I at least replace one of these, I'd be okay with that. I know that the one in the yard is not that great, but it's better than nothing. It's better than what I have now down here. So, and then that's how it's just going to be. As I replace my cameras, get better ones, I will be shifting all of them. Even the one that I have in the driveway now, in the yard, there might come a time where I might just retire that camera too, because I got something better now. So, and I just kind of miss audio. You know, it's like, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but the audio is kind of a nice little treat. You know, it's like a little bonus on top of the clarity and whatever else. So, it kind of would be just nice to, you know, have a better camera. So, I don't know, but I wasn't really gonna plan on replacing any cameras until the fall time. But then by then, you know, the cameras are going to be done for the year. So unless we get another year where we don't have any snow, but I don't know. So at some point, I got to replace them anyway. You know, keep them updated. Because my cameras, they run, well, if I could, I'd run them year round. Some people only run them for like maybe a couple of months before deer hunting season or turkey season or whatever. They want to see what the wildlife is doing, you know, whatever they're hunting. They want to know where they're going and what they look like and whatever else, right? Then after that, then, you know, then these cameras sit. For me, I run my cameras all summer long, and if I could run them all winter, I'd run them all winter too. So that's why I kind of wish I had a Snowcat, because if I did, then I would be running my cameras year round. They would my cameras would probably blow out before, you know, 2 or 3 years is even over with. So but yeah. So another thing I wanted to say here, and how I never noticed this, I don't know. I got to go down that road, I guess, one of these days. But I'll probably do it this summer when I'm out doing haying stuff. But over there, yeah, it's probably not going to show up, of course not. But over there is the border. You go into Canada there. That's like the main border for this area. Well, they used to have a windmill there. Now I don't see it. I don't know where the fuck it went. It disappeared. I don't know how long it's been gone. I just noticed it now. It could have been gone all freaking summer. I don't think the trees overgrew it, because you still would, because I think the windmill was technically taller than the trees. It has to be. It's gone. It's gone. I don't know where it went. How I never noticed it. But the problem is too, is that freaking windmill sat for so many years. When they first put it up, they used it, but then I think it had a problem, so they had to stop using it. Then it sat for a couple of years. They fixed it again. It maybe spun for a few months, and then it's been sitting idle ever since. I don't think that windmill has spun in probably a good 3 years, probably 4 years. It's such a waste of fucking money, because they're not even using it. It's like, and they want us to switch over to these things. Now, these things can last. They say that these things can last. I think in all reality, their lifespan is only about 15 to 20 years. But they say that you can rebuild them. You don't have to tear it down and put a whole new one up. You can rebuild what's there. But I don't know. In a way, I like them, you know. But if they're going to have such issues that they're not, you know, they're just simply not reliable, it's just like, why even have them then? You know. So, but they must have finally took it down or something, because I don't see it. Usually you would see it standing there somewhere. So they must have, I don't know. They must have taken it down. But how I would never notice a crane there, I don't know, because you think that they would have used a crane or something to pull it down. So I'm almost kind of wondering if maybe they didn't use explosives. Because you can do that too. You can use explosives. You can take a chunk out of it, with explosives and give it a slight tug and it would fall over. I've seen videos online about that. And I know that there's been quite a few times I've heard a lot of loud explosion sounds. And I'm starting to kind of wonder too if maybe that wasn't one of them. Maybe they just said to hell with it and they blew the damn thing up. So that's my theory anyway. But yeah, the windmill's not there anymore for the border. I'm going to have to go on the back road, which I guess I could probably do now since I'm out and about, and see if it's still there. But I don't know how freaking close you can get without, you know, there are cameras down there, but whatever. But yeah, I don't notice it anymore. So they must have knocked it down, gotten rid of it, because it should have been right about there. And it's not there anymore now. Probably get rid of that ladder first before I, before I go anywhere. I don't want to listen to that fucking thing rattling. But yeah, it's gone. The windmill's gone finally. Huh. I'll be damned. I guess they got fed up with it. Probably sick and tired of trying to put money into it, and the frickin' thing never works right. But yeah, they must have just decided to get rid of it. It wasn't paying off for them, and it probably just never will, unless you can find a good, reliable one. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to check this gaming camera in the yard. I think I did a couple days ago, but that was to see what the bear was doing. But I want everything to be back on schedule again. So I want to go check it, and then we'll call it day done. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.